You might have seen this image before. It's a picture taken in Rougeville, Michigan in 1892, and it shows two men posing in front of a mountain. If you look closer, you can see it's all skulls. This image became the icon of the Bison massacre that took place in North America. But what are we looking at exactly? To better understand the magnitude of the issue, we need to go back to the time of the settlers.
You read reports from the 1800s of settlers observing groups of 3 million animals strong moving along the rivers. That's impossible to comprehend what that looked like.
Chris Geremia is the Bison guy of Yellowstone Park, a job he has been doing for 22 years.
5,500 animals. We just finished counting them. They've lived here for as long as time exists, I suppose. And, they're the last of the wild animals.
The killing of bison was very much part of the public policies that the United States had against indigenous people, very much part of the policies of cultural genocide.
Rosalyn LaPier is an environmental historian and a member of the Blackfeet tribe of Montana. She can explain the story behind the picture in details.
Oftentimes, what was taken from the bison was either just the hide, and the entire bison was left there on the prairies. You could just see for miles, dead bison, rotting bison, and then over time, all that was left were bones. Later in the 19th century, people learned that you could use bison bones as fertilizer. People then would go out onto the prairies and collect thousands and thousands of bison bones and bison skulls and ship them back east so that they could be ground up and turned into fertilizer. Indigenous people think of this as sort of returning to the scene of the crime and collecting all the evidence and taking it away.
As the national mammal of the United States, bison are a keystone species capable of engineering the landscape. At the beginning of the 20th century, their population was partially restored. This year, a white bison was born in Yellowstone.
It was the first albino ever born in the park as well as we know. It's also a sign of Yellowstone being Yellowstone.
You could see deer, walking down Main Street. So that's kind of a next step, is if we can get free roaming bison. I think that would be great.